Good evening, nerdlings. Welcome back to Fate in Space. Post slight microphone issues, we should be gravy and good to go. We shall join everyone back in the sneaky room. Hello.
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 He's back.
I think I am. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I know, are you?
Excellent. I don't know.
You're
Am I?
back.
What is one considered back?
The opposite of front.
You know, that's interesting. I probably would have said forward.
That works too.
Yup.
I just mean there are two different things there.
There's
Forward and
even more than that technically.
And then go forward and back.
Forward and back and forward and back again. I hate that my weather is taunting me with a little icicle,
I know, right? I'm probably going to get up to check frequently just to see how outside looks.
and it's just going to be rain, wet rain. Alrighty. Well, post our little expedition to the living planet of Rod, you guys stole back the super weapon, working with the group that was there, or, whatever deal you made with them. This person, Alan, I think his name was, and his crew, they just kind of popped out of Rod because you helped them. They weren't in your ship.
So they're
weren't
super fans of us.
Yeah, but yeah. They were most definitely fans of you guys.
Gross.
And all right. They also weren't following you. Basically, the deal was, we'll give it to you and work with you if you help us out. And you guys literally helped them out of the planet.
Yeah.
Excellent. We all remember the same
did
thing.
They just kind of like run away?
Basically, they just thank you guys. I
They
might have
did
said
it. They stupid because they saw what we could do.
yes. Well, no, less that. More so, they look up to you guys. So they have no reason to attack you.
And that.
Yes. It'd be very odd if they just randomly shot you. So with that, you guys have this super weapon trailing behind you.
I was going to add a new aspect, but I don't know how to word
Where
it.
is the notes?
In the
Oh.
journal section, there is literally a thing called party notes. Aldris, did you say you thought of a third aspect?
I mean, destroy all weavers because they're dicks.
Okay.
Try the alien people.
Yeah.
Got to figure out how to murder them.
I bet it's water.
It's
Or
definitely
water.
It's
Yeah, that's
water,
Definitely water.
water and oxygen. Both those things will kill them instantly,
Yep.
as is
100%.
tradition.
Germs too?
And definitely germs. But was it germs or was it
Just
oxygen?
sneeze.
It was earth germs.
Earth germs?
Ah!
Okay. Okay, so
Earth
never mind.
germs.
Earth germs. Well, no, earth germs and water. Just give them water then. That's has both.
Yeah, sure. Because all
Just
those
tap water.
microbes.
Yeah, tap water dead. Idiots.
Bunch of dummies.
Bunch of dumb dingoes. So essentially, you can play with the name of the aspect. Right now, you can throw in Destroy All Weavers and then tinker with it later if you want. Magic Addict is perfectly succinct because that's a good and a bad at the same time. It's wonderful in just two simple words. I love the really, really straightforward aspects. If you want to, change the phrasing a bit, I won't get into it too much. I'm not sure if you guys have looked at the SRD for Fate, but it kind of tells you how to write your aspects and whatnot. And it says don't make them too long, but don't make them too simple. So you don't want to be like Birdman from space who will do anything to destroy weavers and loves magic. Stop that. That's too much. That's silly. It's hard to say that out loud. So just really simple, succinct, obviously you'll do anything to figure out what happened to your people. These things can change too. So part of leveling is actually your aspects changing and shifting. So Georgiana, if you were very much your initial idea of your character, the whole perpetually in love and or heartbroken, if one of your aspects was constantly falling in love with new people every day, and you found Liam, that literally changes your aspect into infatuated with Liam, or...
It does indeed.
Right. So the thing is, mechanically, your aspects do actually change, and that's something the game wants you to do. The high concept should theoretically never change unless something crazy happens to your character. That basically your high concept is who you are, that defines you. If you look real quick, you have 3 consequences, a mild, a moderate, and a severe. There is one after that called an extreme consequence. The reason it's not on the character sheet is because it can eat 8 hits, but basically you only take that as if you're going to die. It's basically your anime moment. It is, do I fall out of the fight, whether canonically you die or you're just knocked out? Do I give up? Or do I take this hit, and this hit is brutal, like arm gone, something horrible, like a huge hole shot in your stomach or something that would probably kill you pretty quickly. But it's basically, I'm going to take this hit to get one more turn or avoid one more attack. So that's something you guys can do, but it changes your character to the point where you have to delete one of your aspects and replace it with that. So also, we mentioned it last time, Ryder. You said you wanted some extra business. I'll name it real quick. Roll with the punches. So you basically said, whenever I succeed with style on defense, I gain 2 boosts.
Boost and juice.
Juicy boy.
Exactly, makes you a juicy boy. And that very much leans into how Ryder fights. So that definitely makes sense. Besides that, you guys now have this weapon. You are floating through space. You should, when it is most convenient for you, of course, contact, well, the contact. They don't have a name. And basically let them know that you have the weapon and you're bringing it back to them. I think
Wait,
Nara said
don't we know who they are, though?
technically, yes. But, they don't want you to know that. Secrets, wink, wink, that whole deal. We're paying you well, wink, wink.
Well, I want to give it a poke now.
What precisely are you looking for? Like, what are you looking at?
Well, what am I looking at? Emotionally or physically?
Emotionally. Do you recall how I described it?
No.
Okay, to put it really simply, like a big jet engine?
Yes.
That, but huge.
Ooh.
And more spacey, if you will.
Spacey.
I think it was 2 sessions ago I described what it looked like, and then you guys picked it up again. But it's basically a giant, huge jet engine.
It is really big.
Yes, it's quite large. You guys are basically have to trail it behind you.
Could I log into it and
Sure.
do it remotely?
Yeah. Definitely has, firewalls and such, but you're more than welcome to do so.
Firewalls.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am?
Firefighter?
Those don't exist.
Firefighters. Firewalls don't exist to me.
No, definitely not. I love how certain phrases just sound like an aspect for a character. Firewalls don't exist to me. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Technically, that can hack into anything anytime.
Actually, though, I think I would rather rephrase it into firewalls don't exist to me.
I like that. Do that.
I'm just gonna
Nice.
fix that now.
Sure thing. Go ahead and just roll your standard hack skill. Your burgle.
My burgle.
Yeah, get burgling.
That was not a good burgle.
That was
I'm
not the
gonna
best burgle. You rolled a
I'm
1.
gonna roll a fate point. If my first burgle of the day is not good, it doesn't bode well for the rest of my burglary.
This is fair. That's a much better burgle, I do say.
All right. Well, I've burgled into it. Now what?
So with that, we'll say you guys definitely have time. You get into it a little bit quicker, maybe than you were expecting.
For a second there, I almost didn't.
Yeah, but that was maybe you yawned or something. Some sleep in your eye, and you kind of just rubbed it out. And you're like, yes, that was the problem. My eyes were closed.
Whoops. Better open them.
Yeah, exactly. Better actually wake up. So I will say you're effectively in its system, Nara. If there's anything in particular you want to know, just ask, and I'll let you know if you have access to that information.
Where are we in space?
Georgiana is piloting, so you guys are currently leaving Rod.
Is there anything nearby besides Rod?
No.
Which is the nasty flesh planet?
Yes, it's the large, floating, nasty flesh planet. You guys could be near something, but as of current, Rod was kind of on its own, understandably.
It just kind of makes me want to, nobody's around. What if I simply just tried it out?
So you look at it and you find that it can't just be fired.
Disappointing.
Yes, and it also can't just fire. It has to be deployed first. And upon looking...
Deployed?
Mm-hmm. You look at the schematic and you can see, as I mentioned before, it does look like a jet engine. That side, nothing really too special. It is very well put together, I will say. It looks incredibly sturdy. Looking at the other side, is completely flat on first glance. But upon looking closer and looking at the blueprints and such, you can see that essentially it opens on that side. Some form of drill and spikes are positioned to come out. They aren't currently. It's completely flat. If you were to look out the window of the Kabuto right now and gaze back at this weapon, it would just look like an extra little jet booster hanging behind y'all.
This is so suspicious. I want to find out immediately.
So you can see that it probably attaches to something.
Do we know what it would attach to? Is there anything in the files that would say? Is there a user manual?
Effectively, yes. What you learn fairly quickly, Nara, is that this is a very, very simple super weapon. Once attached to something large, obviously, the booster itself just sort of turns on and goes. And from what you can see, it doesn't really say that there's a limitation to the go, if you catch my drift.
Does that mean it just goes until it hits something?
You actually see an example of its use. One of them is attaching it to a very, very, very large freighter. And it
Okay.
would have to be, like I said, absurdly large. You can see that the flat side can basically contour and shift itself so that it can position properly onto this thing. Then, no matter how much this freighter decides to protest, it is launched into the nearest whatever sun, planet, moon,
Done.
other freighter. You then look
I
further.
message, Georgiana. I'm like, you want to try this out?
The next page, if you will, of the user manual then shows it being used on a planet.
Okay. Is it like a planet with people?
It just says, if needed, this thing can supply enough sufficient force that you could, if you wanted, push a planet into a sun.
That's a lot of power.
I think we need to accidentally lose this thing somewhere
my-
no
I
one will ever
send-
find it.
I send an angry face after I tried it out. I should have known. I block you.
Hey, I didn't say we couldn't use it. It's just that if it can yank an entire planet somewhere bad, that's kind of we got to be careful whose hands it goes into.
I unblock you.
You just stream of messages.
Just like, all right.
Don't block
That's
me, baby,
fine.
please.
Sad face.
Eye roll emoji. Yeah, that does actually seem a little dangerous. I feel like we should. I feel like if we shouldn't have this, then maybe no one should have this. You get me?
That's what I'm saying.
But how do you destroy something that large, that powerful? Can we suck all of its power into the Kabuto?
Ooh. Give the Kabuto like a super steroid boost.
You know, in like Fast and Furious, when they have the little nitro can or
Mhm.
whatever. That's what I want for
Just
the
use it like
Kabuto.
that.
Just use it like that. Is that possible, DM?
Can we somehow like meld it with the Kabuto?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah,
That could end terribly.
what he said. Potentially, but that's dangerous. Like I said, it is big. This thing, if
Yeah, but at least we'll always know where it is.
true,
Yeah,
but
but
if
if we destroyed it or got rid of it, then that's another big group that's gonna go after our heads, and we already have a big cartel after us.
Mm.
and if you guys just take it, it's gonna be incredibly obvious that it's like welded to the Kabutos. There's also that. Like
Well,
I
so
said,
if they can make one, they can make another one. So us destroying one is not gonna do much.
Wait a second. Can I get the schematics to build my own?
Oh no.
I don't see why not. It should be schematicable, backwards schematicable.
That
Keep
was
going with those
certainly a
words.
word.
you'll eventually run into it.
Backwards engineering, reverse engineering.
Reverse engineering.
And
That
you'll
word.
eventually use the right
that
words.
word.
Eventually, we'll get to it.
Potentially is the answer.
All right, but how potentially? Is it like 10% potentially or like 85% potentially?
Essentially, what you would need to do is run a scan of this thing, a very, 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 very thorough scan to make sure you get absolutely every bit of information about it. That way, when you either destroy it or give it back, you know that you have everything that you could possibly need.
You say that like that's not my specialty.
It is your specialty, precisely, and that's why you know this. I will say to get 100% schematicable, full-on schematicize this bad boy. Craft in terms of skill makes the most sense.
I'm a crafty boy. I could help.
You're a crafty boy.
Yes, getting help would probably be an absolutely wonderful idea. I would say that we need to get 100% a 6. It's very complicated, intentionally
All
so.
right. Right. Okay. All right.
I will say this is relatively dangerous scenario. So you're not sure if you tinkering or messing with this is going to somehow flag it or
Well,
anything
if
of
it
that
gets
nature.
flagged, we're already giving it back.
Correct. So you're not 100% clear on exactly how that works. If it'll be a signature saying that you guys poked it, if it'll be a signature saying someone poked it, that part is unclear. Once again, intentionally so as part of its protective design. So you can definitely elicit help from your allies. Aldris is definitely a mechanic engineer. Georgiana, are you good at this kind of thing?
No, but I could be
Do you want to try to help anyways?
Can I be moral support?
Can you be moral support?
I can bring snacks, good cheer.
Snacks
cheer.
and good cheer.
I mean, I'll accept it. Emotional support is still support.
This is quite true.
But I would like some,
More
some
solid help?
physical support. So
Yeah.
if Aldris could,
Yeah.
Aldris or Meek.
Meek. I just
Yeah.
looked to Meek, just like, can you do it?
He
You
nods
know the
slowly.
schematics.
Meek knows.
Meek know.
Bartholomew.
I have a fluffy cat who could help you focus too.
I don't think that cat.
I feel like that's more distracting than open focus. That's a cat.
An amorphous being named Ghost that might or might not be cat-like. I don't know.
We'll never know.
No, he's
We'll never
cat-like.
know.
He's cat-like.
He's just
Cat
a ball
adjacent.
of fluff rolling around the ship. We don't know if he's cat-like or not. You've never seen a limb or a head. He's just a ball of fluff.
If you turn too hard, Aldris, he just like rolls.
He's like a cat if you were looking through like translucent glass 5 feet thick.
Yes.
You're like, I know that's a creature. Not sure what it is.
Don't make fun of my kidders.
I'm
Throw a
not.
cat in a-
I'm just spitting
He's a
fat.
good ball of fluff.
He's a good ball of yeah. He went on the mission with you. You traumatized him and he came back.
You traumatized him.
How did we traumatize him?
We put him in a living planet, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm traumatized from that too. He's not special.
He didn't say
Your
he
pain
was
is not
special.
valid. Go away, Ghost.
He can be traumatized as well.
Me and Ghost shake hands.
I did give him lots of treats afterwards.
Why didn't I get treats? Why didn't I get treats?
You didn't ask.
This
Did you
is
say-
my treat.
Did you say you shake hands with Ghost?
Yeah.
I like to imagine you walk up to the fluff ball and this like really detailed veiny hand just comes out.
Oh no.
It's like really buff.
Really super buff.
Yeah, super
gotta
buff
be
and it's
honest
really
with
hairy.
you, That was a really poor time for me to take a drink.
You only die, it's fine.
Yeah, only a little bit. That being said, Aldris, want to lend me a hand?
Yeah.
You want to lend me some magic or whatever?
Magic, well,
it
you
is?
know, I feel like magic doesn't really help here. I mean, I can do whatever, but
Well, it's whatever you would find most helpful.
He is a crafty boy.
honestly,
All right.
I'm equally good at both.
I would say that your engineering skills, Aldris, definitely come into play here. So mechanically, how this will work is we want to 6. I will say Georgiana lending emotional support will give you guys just a flat +1. And then Aldris, I'll put it this way. You can choose to give a flat +1, or you can beat, I'll say a 4. And if you do, you'll add an aspect that'll give her +2 instead.
4.
Oh, boy.
I think 4. Wait, no, 3. Sorry, 3.
It's about to say
This is
4 is a
really
little
scary.
insane.
This is scary, but I gotta have it. I gotta get it.
Go, Nara. You can do it, Nara. Go, Nara.
Oh, we're good.
Ooh,
Okay.
I think I
perfect.
helped.
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel imbued with the power of the Birdman.
Oh my god. Okay, so that is, on top of whatever you roll, Nara, a +3 from Georgiana's tea and cookies. And Aldris, precisely how are you assisting with this endeavor?
I mean, just helping out with like the general scan, making sure there's nothing like wrong with the scan, because I'm assuming there's stuff like hiding in it
Oh yeah.
that
Like
doesn't want to be
fact-checking?
seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically just double checking everything.
Oh, what did I add to those cookies? Damn. I found some
Jelly.
secret ingredient in the cupboard that looked really useful.
You took Meek's edibles. Good job.
No, Meek needs those.
I'm like, wow, this is good.
the good
You
shit.
got you got a 7 just raw. Oh my god.
How does that even? All right, I'm gonna try rolling burglary.
Mm-hmm. Well, burglary or craft?
Oh crap!
+3.
Is your craft a
Oh
+4?
no, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I mean,
I did say craft.
it's the
That-
same roll.
That is correct. So 4 + 3 is
7.
slow math. Excellent. More confidently, 4 + 3
That was a really
I got-
pained 7.
That was. I really was like, this feels like a trick question that I'm gonna get wrong.
not a trick question. You succeeded. Excellent. You fully succeeded, actually. You get everything you could absolutely need from this little engine boy.
Can I tell if it sends anything to its original owner?
I will say with the assistance of Aldris, And the fact that you beat the number, didn't tie it, means that no, nothing was sent. You were able to stop it in time, and with Aldris's careful eye, kind of looking things over, you guys both caught it at around the same time. And with his extra assistance, you were definitely able to stop it and finish it scanning and receiving all the information you could possibly need.
I give Aldris a sick high five.
High five, yeah.
And
Bird five.
yeah, do you have hands?
Yes.
Trying to imagine what your wings look like. Do you have like regular arms and hands and then some wings, or are the hands
Yeah.
attached to the wings?
The hands are not attached to the wings.
Yeah, that would be a little scary. That'd be a little more like bats. And then I also give Georgiana a high five for her delicious weed brownies.
The weed,
Hey,
the meat
I didn't
brownies.
say
No,
there was weed.
Well,
I mean,
you did say they were edible.
he kind of implied.
Meek's looking at you, just like, can't believe you. Didn't even ask.
I
Can't believe
give
you've done this.
I give Meek
Hey,
a
no,
little pat on the head. I'm like, you did good. Do you not have weed lollipops? Those are considered edibles.
No.
Oh, you should get on that.
Okay.
Not sure what power do we give you, but
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
you'll
I
know
feel
when
like
you
that
need it.
You're just like, this doesn't give me any power. I'll take 12.
The urge to consume.
The urge to consume. You just get hungrier. That's what it gives you.
Oh god.
No.
See, that could actually be horrifying if each one
Yeah,
just
that's
makes
horrifying.
you progressively hungrier and hungrier.
That would be
You
horrible.
eat a whole planet.
That
Oh,
would be
God.
like a curse.
That would be
You
a
give it to
curse.
somebody else.
I have to
and you're
maintain my
like-
figure.
By eating
mean,
And
it.
you don't
This
work
is-
out.
This
Georgiana?
is the future. You don't have to deal with that. There's probably a
Mm.
machine that just,
Yeah.
takes all the bad away.
Wow, that's
It just
peaceful.
takes all the bad away.
Takes all the bad away.
Just
I don't know
point
why
yourself.
words did not pop into my head, so I just said that.
I mean, honestly, that's perfectly succinct. So I think that's the whole thing. Just whatever's wrong with you, it just
Fair.
takes the bad and just throws it away.
Knowing that Nara did a good job, she goes and takes some munchies.
Job well done. You have all this information. No real issues. You didn't really poke the client in the wrong way. The item doesn't seem to be damaged at all either. So you guys have it and you can deliver it whenever you want.
So, what's its weakness? Can we treat it like all mechanical items nowadays, where it's built to just fail after a certain amount of time?
If you don't update the operating system, it'll just fail eventually.
No, it'll just fail eventually anyways, because you got to pay for a new one.
You didn't software update. It just turns off halfway.
You're just like, don't worry, I can fix that, but you just have to get a new one.
Yeah.
So,
You're not subscribed to our annual updates? Damn. That's rough. Right in the middle of an invasion,
you're not
too.
allowed to just buy it anymore. You have to have a subscription.
Yeah, I hate that so much. I hate that. Anyway.
Hate it.
Infuriating. We just own things, please! So, looking for errors and anything in general, Georgiana, you guys aren't sure if this is a prototype, if this is how they all look, but knowing this one in particular, they probably are created in mass. When I say in mass, I don't mean thousands of them. I mean, this clearly took some oomph to create. You do know that the way it attaches to things, it's able to basically mold itself to said thing, planet, ship, etc. Probably placing something there isn't your best bet. Maybe an explosive before it fully latches on could possibly get it off. Destroying the area it's attached to could very much remove it. Outright destroying it, though, I would say leaning into the usual, just damage, shoot it with missiles, lasers, just anything you can. But like a lot of ordnance into the space hole, if you will do damage, but it has no glaringly obvious weaknesses.
can Nara put a tracker on it so we know what it's up to?
Do you want to?
Why
If
not?
there's any planets that need to be destroyed, I'm kind of curious which ones.
Like, do I need
The one we
to?
came from.
No. Do I want to?
I mean,
really.
I would like to
Can
destroy that
I?
one.
Yes.
I will say I gave you a fate point from that last one just because it was relatively dangerous. If you really, really want to do it again, I will go ahead and give you the same thing. Yes, you may do it again, but once again, dangerous. To track something you're giving to someone and potentially have them see it. That's rough.
So we got the blueprints for the thing.
Yeah, so you guys can
Yeah.
create it or something similar, which could
So now
realistically
we
help
can
the-
just give it back to the people and get our money.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Nara wants to put a tracker on it. to see either where they bring it, if they bring it to any.
I mean, can't she like, because there it must have like some sort of code, right? Can't she just put like a little bug in the code?
Effectively, yes, but to make sure that they don't see it, you got to be extra stealthy.
Yeah.
Because you know everything about the Kabuto, not the Kabuto, Jesus, this weapon.
Do you know everything about the Kabuto? But
And that as well, yeah, to be fair. Since you know everything about this weapon, baseline, you'll get a +2.
Okay. Would it also be crafts? Or would it be burglary?
Burglary, and it would be the same, 6.
Damn. Can I
You do have a
use
juicy...
a fate point?
Yeah, you don't have to reroll.
Add 2?
Yeah, you can just add +2.
Nice. I'll do that then.
You are able to place a bug, a little tracker in this thing. You do know that they're probably going to move it around a bit, and it is accurate. It might not be 100% up to date all the time, but when deployed or used, you should know that they're doing it.
My job here is done, so I'll go take a nap.
Drops my screwdriver.
Ding.
So after we give it to the people and get our cash, kind of low-key want to do that mission he said last week where we're protecting farmer people. Because
Bandits?
it sounds too easy.
Planting seeds one.
Yeah, I feel like he made it sound too easy, so I feel like there's more than meets the eye.
That sounds good.
In the meantime, Aldris, if you want to add a little more your little teletech, you're more welcome to do so. You can roll the craft stat, and we can add some more juice to that bad boy.
Sure.
Oh. You recontact Mr. Howdy McCormick, and he happily greets you, as per usual. He's eating something else strange and noodly looking, far too close to the camera.
Howdy.
Howdy. He's just eating, just looking at you, just waiting. We'll say you've already called him.
Hello, howdy.
Hello there, Mr. Ryder.
What jobs you got for us this evening?
Kind of scrunches up his face. Well, anything in particular you're looking for? I mean, I got the same stuff as last time. Nothing too crazy new. Nope, it's not been too long. Been like, what, a week?
Something like that. You want to give me a refresher of what you got?
Ooh. A quick refresher, if I'm being entirely honest, was basically just, we got a lot of jobs, Ryder, and effectively whatever you want to do. I do collect said bounties, and then I hand them off to you. It's very similar to you going out to an eatery and then asking them to order the food for you. You tell me what suits your delicate tongue, and I'll go ahead and find something good for you.
My tongue is delicate, so...
Slow nod. I will say from last time, y'all mentioned being relatively interested, the Georgiana one, in the seed mission. That could indeed prevent, hunting people, shooting people, if you're interested.
Hunting people? I thought you said we're just protecting people.
Oh, yeah, you are, but, they're kind of getting murdered, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind if you help them a little bit, shooting back or stabbing back, whatever suits your fancy.
Does it pay well?
He double checks. Not as well as your last job. That one was probably one of the better ones I had. I'll put it this way, Ryder. I wouldn't point you towards anything that pays under your standard.
I mean, that works for me. Send me over the information.
Sure thing. He bloops, and your guys' panel lights up, signifying that you have indeed received the bounty. And he updates you saying, as a quick reminder, this one is indeed open to any and all, but because of the squints looking at the screen, less than exciting details not many folk have taken them up on their offer. So, well, I'm going to finish my dinner. Y'all have a good one.
Will do.
He just pieces out.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Gazing upon this, it is about as simple as it sounds. Effectively, one of the first bits of information that it gives you is that there is indeed a planet of farmers, relatively similar to the other you went to before Himar. It's not Himar, but it's relatively similar. This planet is, well, it was more green, full of jungles and things of that nature, but invaders, people from the outside, wanted whatever this planet had. And unfortunately, according to them, and knowing general space histories and such, it looks like they were not all, but mostly subjugated into small groups, allowed to live on the less prosperous sections of this planet. And these people, looking for a savior, looking for someone or something to save them. Essentially, looking through this, it does look quite boring, but you can pretty much tell this is semi-written in code. It looks like all they want is for you guys to literally go there and help them plant seeds. But it's more than that. They want to fight back. They do want to plant these seeds, but it's somewhere very particular. Georgiana, you rocket the group there. We're going somewhere called Savad.
If this is a request for help mission,
Mhm.
then they should have landing coordinates provided, right?
Correct.
All right. I will land where they specify.
So we land wherever we want.
Before you're able to land, you do see that there is indeed a blockade.
Oh no.
And upon closing in on this planet, you are hailed.
Hello.
An image does not come up, but a voice comes over the intercoms. State your name and business.
We're here to protect you from people shooting at you.
A long pause. I'm sorry, what?
Someone hired us because y'all are trying to plant some seeds. Clearly it's not going so well for you, so we're here to help.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Did you not hire anybody?
We were sent by Howdy McCormick.
Howdy, McCormick.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I am aware of that gentleman.
Okay, well, do you need help protecting you guys from planting seeds or what?
We do not. We need assistance keeping busybodies out and away from the planet.
Well, that's what I meant.
Everything is fine here. If you received any
helping you.
distress calls or you received any questions for help, it was definitely not from here.
What do you mean protect the planet?
We're interlopers.
Gotcha. Well, y'all are planting your seeds and stuff. We're here to help you guys not die.
Oh no, we're doing perfectly fine. We have adequate
Clearly
defenses.
not.
Oh no,
Someone hired us to save you.
they must be mistaken. You must have gotten the wrong coordinates. Do you have a pass?
Okay, who are you? Is the
I'll
question.
take that with a no. I will not be answering any questions at this time. If you do not have a pass,
I'm gonna mute the comms real quick.
he finishes what he's saying real quick. Are you meeting him or yourselves?
I'm muting me so I can say to the group while he's chit chatting away.
Okay, he finishes the sentence real quick though. He just says, if you don't have a reason to be here or a pass, you may leave.
I'm gonna look at the group and be like, I'm pretty sure these are the guys that they're trying to like protect them from. And clearly some shit's going down where the real people can't talk to us, so pretty sure these are the bad guys.
That's a good point. Nara, can you scan with the Capucho any info down there?
Is that a real question?
Yes.
Of course I can.
Is that a real
think I
question?
am.
All right. When I say can you, I'm asking do it.
Why don't you say please?
Please.
Will you
Okay, now
please do
say-
this thing?
See, say it as a whole sentence, and I'll think
do we
about
see
it.
any like ships in front of us?
Yes, like I said, you see a blockade.
When you say blockade, how many ships is in front of us?
Currently in front of you, you see at least like 6. When I
Are
say
we like
ships,
in space or
you're right. You are in space. Like I said, before
Okay.
you land, you run into a blockade.
compared to the Kabuto? How big are these ships?
They are much larger, primarily because they don't travel like the Kabuto does. They are longer, and they are not, the way that they are parked is they are parallel to the planet. So they're not pointed towards you, their sides are, but that's where the shooty part comes from.
So
The
big
shooty
ships,
part.
but they don't look like they can move quick.
No, not at all. They are here
Has
to
Georgiana said please yet?
defend down.
Please, oh wonderful Nara, can you please scan the please planet?
The please planet.
That's a lot of please.
I can tell right now that you're being a little bossy, little bratty, and I don't think I appreciate it. But because I can't resist doing this kind of stuff, I'll get right on that.
Okay.
So whenever Ryder is done talking to him, or really,
I'm
when
telling
the
you to do
GM
this while we're talking, so he doesn't think we're like up to something.
Well, in that case, I think it's definitely more when the conversation with the GM is not happening because I don't want to talk over you guys.
Yeah, I wanted to insert asking you to do that in the middle of the conversation when it's
Yeah, I mean
getting a
that's
little
fine.
south.
I just realized I started talking and I don't actually want to talk over anybody.
No, you're
Perfectly
good.
fine.
Just imagine I like pointed to you or Gigi pointed to you to do the hacky thingy while we're like talking to guy who wants us to say who we are.
I mouth the say please. And then I get to it. So would that be burglary?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I ask this every time. It's
Because
like
it's burglary and not hack, and I can technically change it to hack, but that would be deleting burglary.
I'm gonna use a fate point to add
A pay point?
A pay point. A paint point.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Adding
add
two.
2.
Add 2. Okay. That is a 4. Tell me precisely what you're looking for.
I don't know whatever you Josh.
I want the general setup of the landscape. Can we see like an obvious encampment, or like a good encampment maybe surrounded by a bad encampment? Does that make sense?
Very much so. From this distance, with Nara's amazing burgle skills, on this side at least, a good portion of the trees have been cut down for very large metallic structures. A lot of these structures are actually very similar in shape and size to the ships that are surrounding this planet in this blockade. You can tell that there are small cordoned off areas that are in the jungle, and in the jungling areas, most likely meant for farming and such. It's difficult to tell, obviously, from this distance precisely what they're farming, like what they're doing down there, but there's a pretty clear division between one group and another group.
What was it that Ryder wanted? Was it the same thing or was it different?
No, I'm just checking if the people in front of us are who they say they are.
Is there any way that I can also look for that?
Yes, you definitely can. The person never introduced themselves. They merely asked you a question and then expected you to answer everything.
I guess that's a little suspicious, isn't it?
Hey,
Slightly.
Kabuto,
Very.
Yes, Ryder?
can you scan that ship in front of me to look for any weak points?
While I can most definitely do that, Ryder, please keep in mind we are surrounded by... ... It's like it's scanning more.
Force?
I will not say innumerable amount of enemies, but
There's a difference. Wait a second, Kabuto.
yes,
Could you be a little more specific?
I've counted over 40 in the general area.
Ooh.
They span around the planet, so I cannot count them all as of current.
All right.
I can most definitely scan for weaknesses, though. You will be
So,
proud
if
to
there
hear.
is a bad thing going down on there, this is going to be interesting in how we get down there.
I can get around anything. I just need a gap.
Well, I know. That's why I'm looking for weaknesses in the ship so we can get through.
Are there any floating debris in space that we could? Well, it would have to be large, like a meteorite, I guess.
Wasn't the Kabuto going to say something?
Debris, very little, although there is some. It looks like they've cleaned up most of it.
There will be
And-
when we're done.
Precisely. And regarding your question, Ryder, the Kabuto actually almost immediately answers, happy to know that while these ships do indeed look formidable and are quite large, they are, in my opinion, full of glaring weak points.
Thank you, Kabuto.
You are quite welcome.
Hailing ship that called us.
He hasn't really been speaking. We'll say during this time, you asked fairly quickly, Nara, you got all the scan done. Obviously, during the previous first conversation, there was maybe 10-ish seconds of silence, 15 seconds of silence while you were asking the Kabuto to scan, Ryder. He asked maybe 2 or 3 times, like, hello, hello, are you still there? And then you turn it back on, and you hear him say again, hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry, did you not hear my question?
Oh, no, sorry. Rephrase that. We had a little malfunction on my end over here.
Understandable. You have been receiving those as well, unfortunately. Do you have proper clearance to enter the planet?
With the thing that Howdy gave us, did he give us anything that would be technical clearance or no?
Nope.
So I want to pretend like I'm like a group that goes around and makes sure no one's destroying natural resources and wildlife.
Sure, you can definitely go with that. Looking into some data, GG, try to see if basically let you know how recently this planet was deforested. You know, about, we'll say 30, 40-ish years ago, there were no problems. Back then at that point, with various images and bits of information that you receive, by no means were they invaded. They were just having a good old time. So something happened probably slowly over time to come to this point.
Site reasons, like what's the planet? I mean, obviously, it must have some sort of resource that people want.
Probably, but there's no information for it. effectively rumors and inklings and whispers, if you will, of outsiders, of maybe the planet is not prospering as much as it was. They offered no trade to outsiders. They've just stayed with themselves to the point where it's understandable why there's almost no information on this planet.
Okay, so he says who we are or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, we're with the NWC. We just need to come down to the planet and check how everything's going.
Very long pause. I'm sorry, the what?
The NWC, do you not know who we are?
I do not know.
We're the natural wildlife conservationists. We make sure planets are up to grade, especially ones that are very predominant in wildlife and forests. We make sure planets are staying to their natural habitat. And we got a ping saying that this planet has been deforested when this was a beautiful, lush planet. So the upper echelon of the government, who's in control of the NWC, have called upon us to come visit the planet to make sure that what we've been hearing is not the case, because we want to preserve natural wildlife.
Of course. You'll be happy to know that we are currently having no issues with the planet, nor were you requested, although we do appreciate your concern.
You guys are not the ones who requested us. We've been requested from other callings, and from what we have seen, that's not the case. Your planet is clearly not how it used to be.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Unfortunately, at this time, I cannot let you on the planet. Not without an official invitation.
Well, see, I'm going to have to talk to the ordinate bodies about this, and you're going to have a large fine coming at your heads.
That's perfectly fine. Just send it our way.
I mute my comms. Hey, Kabuto, send that large fine that I'm talking about. Gigi, get ready to blast past them.
1 second, Cap. While he's doing that, there's a lot of people here, and I never use my networking. Can I see if I know someone among these ships?
You very much can. Roll it, we'll see what you get. We'll go sliding scale. The higher you roll, the better. All right, I'll ask you. What are you looking for exactly?
I mean, it's obviously a past lover. I'm wondering if someone on the inside can basically get us at least on planet.
Okay.
On land.
We'll say with your past relations and such, Georgiana, you do recall somebody who boarded a ship that looked very, very similar to these. I'll say both you and Nara probably attempt to reach out. So Nara was obviously able to kind of, do the business and scan and do all that fun nonsense and check the ships out. But unfortunately, you can't make a connection. So they can hail you. You can't for whatever reason, Georgiana. And I will say this is very strange because people love talking to you. You can't make any connections going outward. There is something stopping it.
Can I do something? Can I create a hole?
Details? Define a hole?
So what exactly is she trying to do?
She's trying to reach out to a past lover and basically say, hey, can you let us in?
And that is outside. That person is outside of whatever security net that they have.
They should be, yes.
I want to see if I can either create a tear in that net to get a message through, or find the source of the dampening field.
Trying to burgle your way in?
Yeah, sure.
All right, burgle. Excellent. You discover that whatever is dampening is not in one location. It's in many different locations. Like a web, almost. It is quite strong.
A little suspicious.
Slightly. But if you apply just enough pressure, Nara, you find that you can break through for a moment. And I do mean a moment. Georgiana, you can connect with this person, but you will have very limited time, so choose your words carefully.
Will that person be able to get a message back in that same time?
It should be an open communication back and forth. Basically, she'll be hailing him personally.
Okay.
Are you both ready?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
But okay.
Go.
Right. Nara does her business, and being the expert that she is, she's able to open a hole for you, Georgiana, and you're able to contact this individual.
Hey, Henry, it's Georgiana. Long time no see.
Awkward pause again. You hear a fumbling, and then you hear, Georgiana.
Yeah?
I'm sorry, how are you able to contact me?
Oh, don't question it. I'm here to claim it on that favor you owe me. You remember that great night we had. Anyway, There's this flower on this planet that I kind of need to have, and I was hoping you could help me get down.
Don't tell me you're outside the barricade.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good. Do you have clearance to enter?
No.
Oh, gods. You need to turn around. If you can somehow get on the planet, I can possibly assist you, but we shouldn't even be talking right now.
Well, I'm hoping you can help me get onto the planet.
Oh, wait. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not...
Oh, please. I need this flower. I will owe you big time.
And you can feel that you have very, very little time remaining. And he says, okay, I can offer a whole a tiny opportunity. And
that's all I need.
Your comms light up with coordinates. If you get here in, I don't know what, how close are you? 10? How much time do you need?
30 seconds?
30 seconds? Sure. If you head to these...
You can do it.
All right. If you head to these coordinates, you should be able to get in, no problem. And then I can help you with the flower?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to have a talk when you land. It's nice to hear from you again.
Sure. Nice to see you.
Of course. And he cuts out. And you know, Nara, that your connection has been severed.
Nara, are there any flowers on this planet?
Are there any flowers?
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
Are there any unique flowers? You have no idea.
It's
Probably.
not. I mean, it's not completely destroyed by these buttholes.
Are there
but that's
any that
fine.
would look great in my hair?
That's awfully specific. I think that every flower would look good in your hair, Georgiana.
Aww. Suck up.
Yeah. Liam's like, that was a pretty good line. Like, damn.
We'll find when we get down there, though.
So these coordinates, Georgiana, aren't where you guys currently are. They are, you can zip over there. You have about 30 or so seconds. They're a good portion off to the side, but fortunately the Kabuto is fast enough that you guys could zip away and then zip over to that location. You don't know exactly what he's going to be doing, but apparently it should be easier to get in that way.
I'm an expert pilot. It doesn't matter. I'll keep my eyes open.
Right.
I'll tell the Kabuto to deactivate the missiles.
Missiles are deactivated.
You sounded so sad to give that order.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been pretty cool. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I want to shoot them up later. Just not this
Not
moment.
that many.
I mean, dying would be pretty anticlimactic, so yeah.
Damn.
Would be
That
unfortunate.
I think we need more info too. All right, so I'll zip on over to the coordinates and
You wait and wait and wait a moment. And you're thinking that maybe he isn't able to do whatever it is that he promised? Seeing from this distance, though, for whatever reason, the ships forming the blockade begin to move. It looks like they're shifting out, shifts.
ooh.
And during this moment, with your pilot eyes, Georgiana, you can see that you might be seen. But this is going to be your one window.
I take it.
Roll my pilot. Dear God, I was going to say the number, but never mind. Okay.
Oh my god.
The number's 8. What?
Yeah, I know, right?
I will get Georgiana 3 flowers for that one.
3,
Thank
oh my
you.
You don't even have enough ears for those.
I should roll 7s more often.
So you do know that this person, not your past lover, is still trying to hail the ship, but is unable to do so. Not that it matters. You guys just zip and fly by this barricade. You think for a moment you might be seen, but the Kabuto is able to activate stealth just in time, in conjunction with Georgiana's amazing piloting, that you guys are somehow able to whip and wind your way around their sensors. And somehow, you're past the blockade.
All right, so we need a remote landing spot.
Looking about, the obvious landing locations would be the enemy base, the one that is very obviously the same shape and design as the ships. There are other locations. The Kabuto is quite large, so it's going to be fairly obvious no matter where you land. Do you want to go for an area that's closer to these bases or further away so that maybe you aren't seen?
Yeah, I'd prefer sneaky sneak.
You're able to, we'll say with a 7, you're able to wiggle around a bit. And getting past all the enemy, their blockade, all this extra nonsense, you find an area near the back. And at first, you think, how are we going to park the Kabuto? It's far too large. Until you realize that the base, the crust of this planet, is far further down than originally anticipated, especially near this deep, lush, foresty area. The trees seem to be hundreds of feet tall. They are insanely tall. It is ridiculous. You can actually nestle the Kabuto fairly safely in if you want, or you can park near what seems to be one of these farms. Up to you.
In the trees sounds good.
You kind of wriggle your way in, and the Kabuto partially takes over Georgiana to kind of, feel out.
Excuse me.
You can't feel the little Kabuto fingers.
All right, fine.
And yes, sort of against your will, the Kabuto sort of takes over to squat down on the planet in the most
Rude.
comfortable way possible. Maybe a little rude. Maybe a little rude. The Kabuto is able to kind of wriggle about to blend in, and from above they can't see you.
Are you okay?
Hmm?
I'm asking the Kabuto. It's a landing. It's my precious baby. Okay.
Fair.
Everything looks good. Everything's fine.
That's not robot Kabuto voice.
That's not Robot Kabuto voice. That was a cup voice, though. I think. All systems seem to be fine, Ryder.
Good, I'm glad.
All right, and the 4 of you seem to have landed.
Who are mechs? Oh shit, mine's too pink. Damn it.
You do know that obviously hopping into your mech will be, depending on how you want to move around, destructive, whether you want to be or not.
How far are we from the nearest town or whatever?
The nearest, what seems to be local town, you guys are maybe about a mile away.
Guys, we do have our speeders we can use if we don't want to be super seen.
Ooh, that'll work.
Yeah, the trees are very tightly packed, so you basically be smashing them along the way.
So it's
Good
more
speeders.
like hiking than it is, pod racing.
Yes.
Let's get getting regardless.
Think of it like the speeders in Star Wars mixed with the Akira bikes.
Yeah, similar to that. Just don't go full tilt. You will hit a tree.
All right.
Is Liam coming with, or you want him to stay behind and protect as per usual?
I want him to come.
Bark and
How
Ghost
kind
will
of
stay
you.
behind to defend the Kabuto.
Bork.
Bork! All right, the 4 of
That
you...
sounded like you were about to vomit, but
No, I was borking.
is that what borking sounds
It's
like?
what barking sounds like.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'll,
basically when you just regurgitate your stomach to clean it.
My favorite activity.
The 4 of you head out. Pretty much in no time, you arrive at a very small farming village. On the way there, you saw various wildlife. Creatures that are hiding from you guys, like I mentioned before. You did do a number on all the trees in this general area. The Kabuto tried its absolute best to kind of nestle around them, but unfortunately you did down a fair handful. Looking about, though, it is pretty humid here.
Can we
Not
tell
really.
that it definitely has been deforested a lot?
Not here specifically. Back where you guys came from, though, definitely yes. So here it's a little more lush. Probably the way it was supposed to look back in the day.
So does it seem like a corporation or some bad people have been I'm gonna use today's terms, but bulldozing the Amazon?
Effectively, yes. Not the other side. This particular location still looks fairly lush, but the other locations, 100% yes, got bulldozed.
So I know we have sensors. What's on the landscape? Tell us. Special rocks, special trees.
Special flowers.
I mean, I'm looking for flowers, but I want to know why they're mining.
Upon first blush, you don't really see too much. The ground is very fertile, though. Very fertile. That is the absolute first thing that you say. Things that grow here will grow here quickly. The Kabuto will continually run a scan while it's here, though, and it'll report back to you with any information it finds.
Would there be any other reason that they would be on this?
Well, that's why we're headed to the town so we can talk to some people.
And as that scan is kind of going off, like I said, you guys can connect to the Kabuto basically whenever, and it will throw information back at you when it can. And by this point, you guys have indeed arrived at a local town. Like I said, you guys are only about a mile, half mile away with these speeders. It doesn't take any time at all to get there.
Can I tell if any of the locals are staring at us weird or anything?
Yes, there is in fact, a group of folk that are staring off into the edge of this jungle. And as you guys plop out, you can see that they're basically waiting for you, trying to see what landed over there. Pretty much impossible to completely mask your landing. Both the physical presence and the sound of the Kabuto are incredibly hard to miss. Fortunately, you flew around whatever blockade there was, but the people down here definitely saw you. The houses themselves are comprised of pretty much just wood, but it's very smooth looking wood. It was sanded, then stained, and then sanded again. It looks very high quality. They could put a lot of effort into their housing. There's thatch roofing and such, but it looks like there's an extra oomph added to it. An extra little sum.
I'm gonna roll up on the people and hail them.
As you park, one of them hesitantly waves back at you, but they're not approaching you.
Can I tell, like, is there like one person that stands out a little bit more like a leader type looking person?
Not in this group, no. At least not initially.
Is there anybody that head of this town that I can talk to?
You see them whispering to each other. They seem somewhat worried, and a voice rings out over the crowd. You can't tell who spoke, but you hear, "Who are you? What do you want?"
We're here to save you guys.
Save us?
Let's just say I'm pretty sure your planet was a lot prettier before those people came.
So you're not with them?
No, we're not with them.
The crowd parts, and an individual walks out between each of them. It seems to be a woman in her, about mid-30s, and she looks to everyone. They nod to her, and she nods back, and then walks forward to be the prominent figure of this group. And you're here to save us?
And initially, we were hired because, we were told you guys were trying to plant some stuff and people were bothering you guys, but clearly it seems like a whole different kind of story.
About how far away are you right now? Are you shouting, or are you like walking closer while you're speaking?
I guess I'm walking up to her.
They seem hesitant. You guys are, decked out in your usual garb, and they're wearing nice cloth. It's very, very colorful blues and purples and reds, various stripes and circular patterns, swirling patterns, things of that nature. So they are well dressed, but they don't have any like swords or guns or anything of that nature on them. No bows or anything. And they look at your group. Help plant what?
The initial mission was you guys are trying to plant some seeds. What those seeds are, I have no idea. But we're supposed to pretty much protect you guys from bandits, some type of bad people. But I'm assuming by the looks of things and by how we had to sneak onto your planet that the bad people already took over.
As you start describing this, and you mention planting seeds, then you mention helping with local bandits, her eyes widen slightly and then further and further, and the group behind her begins to rapidly whisper to each other, begin looking around, and then they look to each other.
Prophecy after all?
You are here to help us. You did receive the message.
We did.
She smiles very widely. Please, join us, friends. As she motions...
Can you answer me a question?
Will be answered in due time. Please, come. She motions for you guys to join her in one of the huts. More people have popped out. Now that you guys are looking, you can see that there are various children and other people kind of looking around the corner at you guys. And as you get closer, they kind of like scatter off and they're like giggling to themselves and such. And she leads you into one of the thatch-roofed huts. And inside, you realize that the very stagnant, humid, sticky heat from outside almost dissipates instantly. There's no air conditioning in this hut. You're not entirely sure what is causing it, but it is very nice in here. She motions to a large table and says, please, sit.
I sit down. I look at her. I'm like, so who are these people surrounding your planet?
Scavengers. Monsters.
Sure seems like a lot of them. Why have so many come and destroyed your planet?
She inhales sharply. They're here based off of rumor, from what I am told.
What?
Narrowing her eyes, she looks at the four of you again. Who are you with? Who do you work for? Tell me about yourselves.
Well, not to brag or anything, but we are the best bounty hunters in the galaxy. My name is Ryder.
I'm Georgiana. I've won a few races. You might have heard of me.
Yeah, she's really good.
She smirks at that, then looks to Nar and Aldris.
You better not have heard of me. I erased that knowledge from the internet.
She laughs at that.
You're also forgetting my boo, babe.
Or Liam quickly introduces himself with no real fanfare. Just, my name is Liam.
And then under my breath, I'm like, I'm Nar.
My name's Aldris. You're local Birdman.
She nods slowly to Aldris. What a fascinating look you have.
Thank you, maybe?
She looks back to Ryder. So you're a bounty hunter?
Indeed I am.
You hunt bounties.
Bounties, but sometimes I'm generous and I like helping people in need.
You bounty hunts.
You bounty hunts. Interesting. Well, to answer your question, Ryder and crew, they're here for rumors. Legend from long ago that, unfortunately, my people no longer believe. Did you come from, she points up, space from out there?
We did.
Were you able to see their their home, their structure.
Yeah, we saw a base.
Thinks to herself for a moment and says, well, that was our home at one point. They destroyed it and built that abomination instead. Before I was born, it was said that was a place of great power. It was said initially they promised a deal with us. They would help us with a prophecy, if you will. And we foolishly agreed to help. Slowly they pushed us further and further and further away. They built that thing, whatever it is. They're looking
And
to...
what is your name?
You... She sort of smirks and says, we don't necessarily have names the same way you all do, but you can call me Ruby, if that works for you.
That works for me, Ruby. Well, listen, Ruby. One thing I can guarantee you, me and my crew are going to go up to their little castle, and we're going to excavate them. And you're going to have your planet back to the rich, beautiful forest that it used to be.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if that is possible. We would
Oh, it's
greatly
possible.
appreciate it, of course. can
Nothing's impossible.
This is true.
But one thing I can guarantee is I'm going to get these people off your planet.
Have you brought enough forces to fight an army?
You're looking at them.
Just the 5 of you?
Oh, we've done way more damage than a lousy army can do.
Nar by herself could take out 20 of them.
She's slowly nods, not entirely sure what to think of what you guys are saying, but as you guys can see, she doesn't have access to the same technology you do, so maybe you have some secret she doesn't know about. All right. Well, and then smirking, the bounty, if you will, the request, it was quite serious. We do need you to plant some seeds.
Of rebellion?
She laughs at that. Says, no. Well, maybe. She kind of gives you a little devilish smile.
Mm.
Walking towards the entrance of this little hut, she says, please come with me for a moment. And she motions outside. And just to the side of this hut, you can see that there's an area for planting various fruits and vegetables and just things to consume and whatnot. But you notice that it is, while it's tilled, it's not currently in use. You notice there are many others in use from the distance as you kind of look around. There are various people working. You see that there's a well. You notice that as you guys were flying above, just alongside the way, that there's a lake and such, and you saw various animals kind of cruising about and such. She digs in her pockets and pulls out what seems to be a seed. It's kind of spiky in shape, and then she shoves it into the dirt with her thumb and then kind of twists it in. And then taking a step back, she whispers something under her breath, and you see the sand itself shift a little, and you can feel the ground shake ever so slightly. And as it does, quick as a whip, within not even 20-30 seconds, something begins to sprout.
Whoa.
And it twirls and twirls and twirls and twirls, the spiral that just goes upward. She looks at it, she leans over, goes to pick it up, and you can see that it has kind of a stick with root popping out of the bottom, and then it spirals outwards, sort of like a Christmas tree made of like bamboo, if you will. It's not sprouting outward from like a center trunk. It spirals outward and gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it comes to a point. And then she looks around herself real quick, as if to see no one is watching. The village is watching, but she's looking for something else. And she says, this is what they're here for. And then she motions to the rest of the forest. At first they were here for, well, we thought we were sharing our culture with them. We thought we were sharing our technology, if you will. But they somehow got wind of something greater. And, well, looking at you folk, she motions to this thing in her hand, and she actually puts her arm in the void that is the inside of this spiraling drill-like thing. And as she does, it slightly tightens around her arm, and she kind of turns it a bit, starts kind of flexing it, and now that it's grabbed onto her, you can see that she has basically this giant spike on her arm.
Kind of like armor?
Kind of like armor, yeah. Going from her shoulder all the way down to her hand, and there's this massive, like, 1 foot long spike. And she kind of just smiles.
Like, that's cool.
She nods. She twists her hand, and the whole thing's kind of like, whoop, 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 just comes loose. And she whispers something under her breath again, and the whole thing shrinks down to maybe like 8 inches. And then she holds her hand out and says, I give this to you as a gift. I'm sure your technologies are greater than this, but, well, I'd like you to have it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
What's this have to do with a prophecy?
Okay.
With their base, do you know the best way of entering for us to take them out for you, or?
I do not, unfortunately. They're almost on the other side of the planet. If we attempt to get close, they, well, correct us, if you will. We have spies. We've had people try to look, but I'll be honest, most of us have given up. That message you received was sent out 30, 40 years ago.
Oh, dear God.
Someone great. His name was, well, in your tongue, it was Arven. He sacrificed himself in order to send that message. We do not have the technologies, but he was guided, we believe, to send the message. And, well, hopefully, someone would arrive. It's been so long that everyone's effectively given up, but...
You don't know roughly how many people are in their little castle thing?
More than 20. And she kind of smiles.
Well...
We used to cover this planet.
That's their main building?
Correct, yes. If you see any other settlements like these are where they allow us to live.
All right, well, you wait here. We're gonna go deal with your problem, and hopefully your people can live a better life.
First, I think we need to borrow some of your outfits.
She smiles. You're more than welcome. Would you like to come with me?
Yes, and I drag Liam with. Come on, guys. Camouflage.
Camouflage?
Yeah.
Looking to blend in. She
blend in.
Yeah, she introduces you to a gentleman that basically just has a rainbow of hair. He has a very extravagant mustache beard combination, and there are just colors just flowing through his beard, but they're not melded at all. They're very precise. Like there's a strip of red, then yellow, then purple.
I might be a little in love.
All of his hair, it just looks ridiculous, and it matches his outfit perfectly. And he very happily helps you over to effectively a clothing section, if you will. What you would know is not like a mall or anything, obviously, but somewhere where they hang many clothes for you to kind of try on for your own. And I will say something you notice, Gigi, while you're trying these clothes on, they seem a little baggy at first, but after you put them on, they contour to your body, and they look as perfect as they possibly could for your figure.
How delicious does Liam look?
He looks quite delectable.
Oh my. Okay.
As you guys are kind of like, suiting up if you wish, she says you guys are more than welcome to take an outfit on the way out. Maybe she has a little hat for Meek.
Aww.
She looks to you, Ryder, and says, there is one other thing.
Yes.
And she looks to each of you, and you can tell she's trying to contain a smile. She digs in her left pocket and pulls out a pouch. And you can tell that whatever this pouch is made out of is old. She gives it a rub, sort of nods, and then she turns over to Nara. She holds her hand out and says, I want you to take this.
Okay. I open my hand.
Okay. She drops a little bag into your hand. You can feel that it has maybe 4 to 5 little seeds in it. Open it when the time is right.
Will I know?
You nod. You will know.
Can I ask her what the whisper thingy is to make the thing activate so I can have cool spiky arm thing?
She smirks as you ask that and says, of course. Now, this thing that she whispers to you, Ryder, is not in any language you've ever heard before.
Does it turn me on?
I don't know. Maybe. A little bit.
I don't know.
Is she a hot alien chick?
Yeah, of course she is. Everyone's hot. This is fantasy space world. Everyone's hot all the time.
I get distracted by hot alien babes. I mean...
That's fair. That's perfectly fair.
She's whispering in my ear.
Yes. What she tells you, like I said, no words. It's almost like an emotion. It's a feeling. Her lips move almost just to mimic speech, because that's how you guys talk. And after she says the thing to you, like I said, there are literally no words. It's like she impressed an emotion onto you.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment, you obviously think there's no way I can repeat that. What did you just do? And she nods to you, just like she nods to Nara and says, you'll know.
All right. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Thank you for being a friend.
She smiles at that, Nara, puts her hand on your shoulder, and then nods to you.
This feels like a big responsibility, but go on.
Looking to your group, if you all think you can do it, I believe you. I've never given up hope.
Swallows nervously.
I smack your butt. Nara's butt.
Well,
Oh, my butt.
Don't worry, we got this.
Excellent. I look forward to hearing from you all. And she seems genuinely happy.
All right, who's ready to destroy a castle thing?
Me. Let's go.
Gang, listen, the fact that this planet has been in prison for about 40 years, I don't like that. So I want to kill all these bandits.
Works for me. Should we go back to the ship for explosives, guns?
Well, here's the thing.
Are
Are we going sneaky, or
I
should we
don't
just
know how
fly
to
our
do
mechs over
anything
there
but-
and just wreak havoc?
I think either are probably valid. I unfortunately do not have any,
What?
guns blazing
Well, your mech has guns on it.
technology.
But
What?
you have burglary technology.
You also have your little craft bots that can help you in the field.
I do have my little craft bots. You're
And
right.
in fact, I don't see why you couldn't start taking down their communications network. There's got to be a
There's a thought.
a hub on ground, right?
Could be.
If you can hack into
Sorry for that
their
yawn.
their
Yikes.
their scanning systems, we can get into our mechs and fly over there without being detected.
Sure, let's do that.
I will say from this distance, their base it's not halfway across the planet. It's about a third of the way over. You guys are a healthy distance away.
Nara can take her mech up into the air and just camouflage it because it's camoed, right?
You guys have that?
All right, well, let me go ahead and do that then.
All right, yeah, so the options going up and satelliting yourself, or stealthing and getting as close as you possibly can, doing your thing,
I'm
and then
going
coming
to
back.
stealth.
Go ahead and roll me some of that stealth. Pretty spicy.
Could be better.
I'm going to basically roll for their scanners to see if they notice you. While they do not immediately notice you, something is on alert. So looking about Nara, you get the feeling that for whatever reason, they're already pretty tense. They're looking for something, someone. What precisely are you trying to do now that you've flown up and you've stealthed?
Their communication?
Yeah. Should we wait to time that for when we're, I don't know, gonna hit the command central?
I mean, aren't we
Well,
doing
I
that
can-
right now, or I don't know what else to do.
I
other
can
than-
get set up and you guys can...
Yeah, because we have to get set up too. I mean, we are gonna sneak into the building, right? And the other question is, we want to leave their castles intact, yes?
Yeah, I mean, we're not blowing the castle up.
Let me reiterate that real quick. So the way the ships are very angular looking. They're quite long, very similar to the ship that we looked at last week, Ryder, except sharper. There are really no round sides to this thing.
More triangles.
Yes, very triangly. Just take a bunch of triangles and just form them up until you get, one of these beautiful long boy ships. The structures that they employ on the planet are also the same. So you're not sure if there was a structure from the locals here first and they built around it, or if they just built this over it, or they've completely destroyed it and it's there. But the building that is there is 100% the new inhabitants.
Okay, so if we can find something in there that's theirs, not destroying that,
Yes.
but killing all the bandits because they're assholes.
Yes.
So when should I be timing my takedown of the comms?
I figure we should just communicate it to you.
Can I go ahead and set myself up then,
Definitely.
GM?
GG, let's fly over with the ship as close as we can in stealth mode before we take our mechs out, because I don't want to fly halfway across the planet and just our mechs.
Works for me.
Since I have some time, GM, to
Mhm.
set up, is there any way I can give myself a boost?
Yes, that will effectively lower the roll that you need because you guys are taking your time. You were not seen. You've already caused somewhat of a kerfuffle, if you will, and you are indeed bringing yourselves and the Kabuto closer to make this generally easier. The three of you, Ryder, Georgiana, and Aldris, you guys are all naturally closer, while Nari is sort of backing you guys up. She's going to knock out communications, and then you guys will move on in. From this distance, you guys can tell that while they do have access to mechs, they currently aren't employing too many on the outside, that is. You see about 4. If you guys have played Mech Warrior, the ones that kind of walk around on 2 legs, and they got the big old chunky upper torsos with the side guns, a lot of them look like that. There's about 4. The bipedal mechs that you guys employ outside this huge base, you see maybe at most 6. So they probably have the rest in, or they just don't have access to that many mechs. You're not really sure which.
I feel like a company this big would have mechs.
What I feel like is all the ships that are potentially surrounding the planet, I feel like most of those are not actually inhabited by anybody. Like, they could just be decoys to think that they have a bigger army than they actually do.
Yeah, it's possible.
But as you guys move into position, Nara, you're basically going to kill off their communications. I'll just roll against you. I'm going to give myself +3, and then you can roll your burgle.
Okay.
And you just basically need to beat effectively their notice. Their counter hacking, if you will. So I will roll, and I got a 2.
Nara?
Damn. No, wait. I'll use my last fate point.
Alrighty. Bringing that up to a 4. They fight and they fight, but Nara, firewalls don't exist to you. So,
Yeah.
you are able to break through. You know this will only last for so long, though, but it should be just long enough that their communication will be down while the 3 of your allies attack. You are, of course, more than welcome to bring up the rear with support and other nonsense.
I'm going to hop in my mech, because Kabuto is kind of attached to my mech as well. Like, I can talk to her through there.
Yeah, of course.
Kabuto playing Killing in the Name of from Rage Against the Machines.
Of course.
All right, you guys ready to kill some bandits?
Yeehaw.
Always.
Giddy up.
And
all that.
I'm just going to shoot out of the ship.
All right, excellent. You guys blast out, and Nara is bringing up the rear. You guys can already see that the enemy is not doing so hot, considering you completely destroyed their communication network.
So you said there's like 6 guards that we have to take out?
On the outside, you do indeed see about 6 or so mechs.
I'm not even going to talk to them. I'm just going to shoot.
Perfectly fine. Basically, the way we'll do this is you go, they go. You go, they go. Whoever you shoot obviously has priority because you'd be shooting them, though. All right, Mr. Ryder, which one are you shooting again? My apologies.
The guy in front of me.
All right, so shooting the one in front of you. All right, the enemy, unsurprisingly, does not know you are there, so they pretty pathetically attempt to dodge out of the way. There's the damage drag. That's what I want. That's the real shit right there, buddy. Alrighty, you pepper this dude with gunfire, we will say. He'll take 3 shifts of damage. That'll be 1, 2 physical stress, and he'll take his mild consequence as well. We'll just basically be shot up armor.
No, I mean like what kind of mechs do these guys look like?
They look like they are made of like a very refined and shiny, weirdly enough. Like it's not steel, obviously.
So they look better than those one pirates that we ran into.
Oh yeah. In fact, they look a little too clean. Like they haven't really seen too much combat.
Good, they'll be rusty then.
All right, you open fire as the 4 of you kind of dash on in, and this mech, seeing you charge forward first, he will attempt to, let's say, he'll kind of panic, and as you just shoot him up, he'll quickly turn, and one of his guns like, and it mounts up something, and he just begins to open fire on you. So go ahead and roll me a pilot.
Zoom right past that.
So whatever he was trying to do, you just fly right past him, dude. Who's next, Ryder?
GG.
I want to acid sword.
Acid sword. Which one?
This one over here, right beside me, to my left.
Woo. Welp, this boy's out of stress. As mentioned before, obviously in Fate, when something dies, you can choose to kill it or to just incapacitate it. I am assuming these guys are all dying, right?
Yeah, kill him.
How do you do it?
I just want to vertical slash him to death.
All right, you walk up and down smash, and he just right through the middle, and his mech just slides in half, and each the left and the right side just explode in a heap of fire as he falls to nothing. All right, one of the next mechs around the corner will sort of start to dive at you, Georgiana. He's going to attempt to incapacitate you like 2 giant lobster claws. His arms unravel as his mech charges at you, and he's attempting to hold you in place.
No. Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Pilot.
Oh, pilot? Okay.
Yeah, dodging.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. And again, you're able to completely avoid this strike. As he completely misses you, both of them just clamp onto a metal structure behind you. He just like sears through it and then turns back to you.
Aldris.
All right, Aldris, what you got, bud?
I forget. Am I able to attack the ones over here? Or do I have to go over there for that?
Yes, you can attack them with a ranged attack.
Well, I more so want to like disable them a little bit.
All right.
I want to go for these two up front.
Okay.
A bunch of plants are gonna rise up and just hold on to their mechs.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, go for it.
Try and keep them in place.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have an extra +2 to that.
Yes, yeah, because you're trying to hold them, right? Not do damage.
Yeah.
Magical disruption expert.
Yeah, that's what I roll. Oh no, I did the wrong one. I'm just.
Oh, good. That should be a 5 then, right?
Is that a +2? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The 5, and then there are 2 defense rolls are going to be a 3 and a 3.
Oh well, I guess I'll just go 4 and 1.
4 and 1. Okay. So the top boy held by plants, effectively.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Dope. I'm gonna wiggle these guys around so it's more obvious physically who has which debuff. As you sort of reach out, they're not really sure what you're even trying to do. They might be expecting you to shoot, and well, you don't shoot. Instead, vines just burst up forth from the ground, and one of them is able to dodge out of the way, but the other one is just held tight by these plants. All right, I'll say the other one that was missed will go. He is actually going to dash past all this, and he's going to try to rush over to you, Aldris, and he's going to do the same. He's trying to get squeezy on you.
Don't get squeezy.
So go ahead and roll me some pilot. No squeezy. I'm going to use one of his fate points to bring that up to a 4.
Well, that's just not very nice.
That's not very nice. No, he wants to squish and grab this bird.
Maybe I'll do the same thing then.
Do the same to avoid it? All right, excellent. So your expertise in pilot enables you to completely avoid this, as he also, just like with Georgiana, dashes past and cuts something behind you. Nara.
I think I'm going to...
Can she use craft to throw them, or does she have to use shoot?
So if you're close enough, I will say in general, because I'm pretty sure you have a stunt for this, Nara, you can use craft as long as you're buffing and debuffing. You need to be near them reasonably. So if you're in the same zone, easy. If you're in one zone apart, I think that's also fine. If they're 2 zones away, probably not.
Okay, I want to create a electroshock bomb.
Okay.
That will short circuit their mechs temporarily.
Nasty. I like it.
Let's call it Jolted.
Ooh. Spicy. Go ahead and roll your craft, and I will defend against that. All right, first one and second one. Okay, so
Nice.
To re-explain, the way this works is you take your 3 and split that however you want amongst 1 and 1.
I guess just 2 on one and 1 on the other.
So this is effectively like a lightning grenade?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. It goes off, and one of them is just, he dives, and he dives into it instead of away from it. So you can just see it just rack his mech, and he's just shaking as he's trying to reposition to get where he needs to. The other one didn't entirely avoid it, just slightly. So as a reminder, Jolted, he has the aspect on him Jolted. It has 1 free invoke, so you guys can keep invoking that if you have fate points. The other one is a boost. It goes off once, and that's it. All right, they're going to look to you with your electric grenade, Nara.
Well, that's just rude. I didn't do anything. It was
start
the
with
grenade.
the top guy that's held by plants. He's going to basically just shoot at you for suppressive fire, so he's not necessarily trying to damage you. He's trying to basically get you to take cover and put you in a really shitty position. By the one that is held down by plants, he's trying to get out, but he's unable to do so. Go ahead and roll me pilot. Oh, you can't do anything about it either.
Sucks to be me.
Sucks to suck. Alrighty.
Yeah, it's okay. Fine, I deserve it.
Alrighty. That is 4 shifts. Alright, seeing an opening, the next enemy will attempt to do the same, except he will move on in a bit, and you can see one of his arms kind of, once again, detaches in a weird way, and this large bolt is formed. Lightning ravels around it as he shoots it at you, Nara. It's going to shoot into the ground, and lightning will arc out at you and attempt to basically hold you down.
All right. Not much I can do. Dang.
Pilot is getting bullied.
Could be worse, I guess.
Could be worse.
Cross his fingers. Well,
oh no.
Better than last time. Better than a -1. Yeah, I can't do anything to fix that.
So this one, I will say you are held in place by this lightning rod. I'll go ahead and give you that debuff. And the last one will now go. and he is just going to go for an outright attack. This last enemy is going to just basically charge at you, and he'll just don a shotgun and just basically... And as he fires, go ahead and dodge again.
Man.
Damn, you're being bullied.
Hi.
Oh, this is why you do the stealthy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can't stealth run away.
All right, so they're going to use
Really?
both the Suppressed by Fire and the Lightning Rod, which brings the roll up to 6. So as he blasts that, unfortunately, Nara, being held down by this Lightning Rod, having one of the other enemies just around the corner just shoot at you, you're taken off guard, and with that, you take 5 shifts of damage.
Well,
So if you remember how to do that, it's basically
can I
a
do 3 physical stress and 1 mild consequence?
bingo. You do remember.
What should my mild consequence be, though?
We can just say dented armor. And since you went last, Nara, you can vote who goes next.
I mean, who's most willing to kill somebody for me? Georgiana.
Probably
Or Ryder. Go Ryder.
Go Ryder.
Okay, I slash this guy so we can kill these people because they be attacking Nara.
They be hurting.
Slash.
Ooh, yeah, it was. All right.
And invoke.
You want to, yeah, but so you tap that invoke, buddy. All right, that is jolted.
Slash.
That brings you up to a 6. That's 5 shifts of damage.
Slash. Dead.
All right. Yeah, he cannot sustain 5 shifts of damage. How's he going down, buddy?
Okay, so I see like he's like
Yeah.
like, it's like kind of like malfunctioning. So like
Mhm.
pull out my sword with my left hand, and like I turn around and do like a diagonal cut, cutting off like his leg and his hand, and then he's like kind of like spinning in the air, and then like I just chop his mech's head off.
Excellent. He just erupts and just shoots off to the side, just completely dead. Seeing that you took out one of his allies, the other one that was jolted, is going to run towards you, Ryder. Go ahead and roll me some pilot. He's also trying to create advantage on you.
Gross.
Very gross. One might say the grossest. Goofy
But I'm too
McGoofies.
fast for him, so unfortunately he thought, but
He thought. I'm going to use one of his fate points and bring it up to 6. You can, of course, use the jolt boost if you want to defeat it.
of course I'm going to do that.
Of course you are. So he staggers at the last second and is unable to actually pin you down, which seems like exactly what he was going for. Who's next, Ryder?
GG.
I'm gonna use my sticky.
Excellent.
Not the sticky.
Who you
The
sticking?
Sticky.
Sticking on that boy? Okay.
hmm
Is this a creative advantage or damage?
Create an advantage.
After having pathetically missed Ryder, oh my god. You gonna lollipop it up and boost that bad boy?
Yes.
So you create a sticky. What is this aspect? It's only a boost.
Well, I kind of want to just keep his arms from grabby.
Okay, so like bound arms.
Hands away.
Hands away. All right.
Wait, no, sorry. Hands off. Hands
off. All right, he's not doing so hot. Alrighty, I'll have the one held by plants go. And, he's just going to kind of deal with the situation. It does suck, but he's just going to have to deal with it. Seeing you trying to create a sticky situation, Georgiana, you know what? No, Ryder's killing fools. He's going to shoot a Ryder. Why not? He's going to go for suppressive fire on Ryder. Roll me some pilot, my friend. Would you like to do anything to avoid that? You can invoke the held by plants. Just an aspect.
No, because I want to use that against him.
That was a tie, so it is just a boost. So while he may be shooting at you, you are mostly able to dodge this. All right, Gigi, who's next?
Aldris.
All right, Aldris, what you got, bud?
The whole lot of more plants.
More plants. Okay, who are you aiming at?
We'll just go for these two.
Those two? All right, get these chuckleheads.
Get out of here,
You're
nerds.
honorable.
Ooh, 0 and 3. Gee, I wonder.
Well,
That's
1 and
right.
4.
1 and 4 it is, buddy. All righty.
Nature takes its revenge.
Nature's
That's
beauty.
what I was going for. Oh no, I'm not going for it anymore. I hate this.
No!
I'll have one of them use a fate point to try to avoid it. Same deal, just held by plants again.
Yeah.
All right, plant holding. You know what? That's technically correct.
Plant hold.
Plant.
Kind of.
Plant holding. All right, put on this boy. The other one's able to...
Plant holding.
Yeah. A typo that we're going to live with now. That specific one, that his pants are being plant holded, is going to take aim at Ryder with his teammate, who is firing and firing and firing at you. He's going to throw the same lightning rod at you. Go ahead and roll me summon that pilot. They only have one of these.
Rude.
Do you wish to re-roll or something? He does have plant holding on him.
I'll use plant holding.
All right, so he's no longer succeeding with style. He's just regular succeeding. Nara, what you got? You are being held down with this lightning rod, and one of them is suppressive firing you. As a reminder, you can technically break free of these, so aspects are always true. If you rip this lightning rod out of the ground and chuck it, it's no longer true. Or you can just, kill him.
Honestly, I'd rather say screw you guys, have some robots.
Hell yeah, who you shooting at?
Who is in the most precarious position?
So, funnily enough, held by plants has 1 free invoke, and hands off boost has 1 free invoke. The plant holding has no free invokes, but he is indeed held by plants. So,
Is the goo, do you think it would be a good conduit?
for lightning,
Yeah.
I would say you guys are pretty well used to working together by now. So, is your goo conductive, Georgiana?
Is marshmallow usually conductive?
That's not literal marshmallow.
Maybe it
Literal
is.
Oh,
I thought
God.
it was.
Is your
Well,
mech
if
is
it's-
making literal marshmallow to shoot at people?
That's disgusting.
I
Then
mean, it's nice and sticky.
No. It Nara tweaked it to suit her uses.
did she just tell you it's made of marshmallow?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm
Sounds
like
Nara.
it's made of marshmallow, but it's not edible.
Noted.
And you're like, huh?
But if food, why no eat?
As long as it looks like marshmallow.
Confusion. In that case, I am going to throw another bomb on the sticky guy.
All right.
I want the electricity to, I want it to act as a conduit so it electrocutes. So is that a
Craft. Basically,
Craft.
whenever you buff or debuff, it's always craft for you. I believe you have a stunt for it.
Oh, I have crafty helper.
You do have crafty helper, so this isn't helping. This is crafty herder. But because of that, he failed by more than 3. That's unfortunate. So conductive goo.
Conductive goo.
So he's just having an absolutely horrible time as you throw this lightning grenade at him, basically, Naro. And it arcs up the guns and all over this hands-off goo that Georgiana threw at him. And he's shaking and rattling and rolling. He's having just an absolutely awful time.
It sucks to be him.
It really does suck to suck sometimes. All right, and the last enemy on the other side is going to take aim at Ryder. This is one of the standard-looking mechs, more similar to you guys.
Aggressive.
So aggressive.
What'd I do?
You're beautiful. You're destroying their guys. They see you as a
I'm the only one killing people.
they see you as a threat.
I'm just throwing out plants.
Yeah. Alrighty. And with that, he is going to indeed take aim at you, good sir. Go ahead and roll pilot to dodge. Alrighty. I will use this fool's final fate point to bring that to a 4. And then I am also going to invoke the Rod of Lightning and also the Suppressed Fire, which is a boost, so it goes away. Bring that up to an 8.
Oh dear.
Alright, do you wish to use any of your points, my friend? It is 4 shifts of
attacking me?
damage. He's attacking you. The one on the bottom.
Ooh.
One of the mechs across the way. He pulled out like an
Which one?
assault rifle. This one here. I'm moving toward you. This boy right here. He pulled an assault rifle and he just unloads.
Guess I'll use my fate point.
+2 or reroll? Probably +2, I assume. Yeah. You rolled pretty well.
Yeah, because I rolled good.
That brings you a 6 against an 8. So, pathetically, that's only 2 shifts of damage. Not bad. What a sad, sad little man. They tried so hard. I wouldn't say they got so far, because they didn't. Attempts were definitely made. Alrighty, seeing you basically shrug off this attack, they kind of look at you like, oh, shit, that's not great.
No.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go back to the top of the order, but we'll go ahead and pause there for next time. With,
Oh, but I wanted to kill the guy below me real quick.
with all this absolute chaos, just prepare a wonderfully evocative death for him next week. Make it really juicy while he's covered in goo and lightning. I believe in
Oh,
you.
no.
I'm so
The
excited.
lightning goo.
I think the lightning goo was a good one.
I think it's
It was
fantastic.
a good one.
I love
Yes.
it.
Yeah.